Hey y'all, it's Teresa. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back for another video. If this is your first time joining me, obviously my name's Teresa and I basically do a lot of grocery hauls and cooking, but I've been getting a lot of requests to do more budgeting videos. So I'm here to talk a little bit about our budgets and to kind of open up the segue to start doing more budgeting videos. Now, I stopped initially doing budgeting videos because we really hit a wall in our budgeting and in our finances. There are a couple of videos where I talked about that. We lost pretty much everything and kind of had to start over. But our budget was one of the things that kept us from having to file bankruptcy. You know what I'm saying? So we have always been budgeting advocates. If you have been following my channel for a long time, you also know that I have been obsessed for a long time spending cash on everything. If we didn't have the money for it, we didn't get it and all of that. I just did not want us to be in debt because I felt like debt was like the worst thing ever. Because there are so many financial people out here on YouTube that tell you that financial freedom equates debt freedom. I don't believe that anymore. I did all of that to try not to be in debt, and then I was diagnosed with cancer, and now we are in so much medical bill debt that I may as well have gone out and bought my dream car, built my dream house, all of that without being sensible at all because of all the debt that we have. So one thing that I have learned, and this is something that I kind of live by now, is to do you and do what works for you. You can always take kind of input from other people and kind of learn from the things that they do, but you don't have to follow exactly what they do. Being in a little bit of debt is not going to kill you. Being in a little bit of debt does not mean you're financially bound. If you can pay your bills and still have money to travel, live, have fun, buy clothes, go out to eat, all the things, if you can still do all the things, I feel that you are still financially free. And so now my goal has been more so being financially free as opposed to being debt free, because y'all, I don't know when I'm gonna pay all these medical bills, because I still have to go to the doctor every 3 to 4 months. I have to have scans and MRIs and all of that. And an MRI by itself is like $7,000. So yeah, that's just how it is. I'm not worried about it anymore. I want to be financially free, not so much debt free, because look, let me tell y'all something. The early bird gets the worm, but the early worm gets eaten, right? So say you're a worm, you see this bird, they're succeeding, you watch them every morning, they get up early, they get out there, they come back, they seem like they are so happy with what they got going in the morning. And so the next day, you're a worm, and you say to yourself, I'm going to get up very early and I'm going to go out and I'm going to accomplish the same things that these birds are accomplishing. But instead of you accomplishing something great, you get eaten by one of the birds. Whereas instead you think to yourself, okay, I'm a worm, I function better at 2 or maybe 11 or 12 o'clock at night. That's when all of my ideas are flowing. That's when I can get things the most done. You stay in your lane. You budget within your lane, you live within your lane. And especially here on YouTube, by me being a YouTuber, sometimes I would look at other YouTubers and be like, oh, why do they have that sponsorship? Or, oh, why is their channel growing so much when I can barely get 5,000 subscribers. And then one day I was just like, you know what, forget that. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to grow my channel, grow my business, grow my brand. Instead of trying to be an early bird, I'm just a late night worm, because I work better at night. And I get sponsorships, I make money off of my brand, I do what I need to do. I'm a content creator outside of YouTube because that door has been open for me, and I can make money with or without YouTube. So that's the same thing with budgeting. The early bird gets the worm, but the early worm gets eaten. You need to do what's best for your budget, and that's what I've learned to do. We are building our house. Some of the things we have done for this house have been financed. Some of the things have not been financed. We've taken money out of our savings account, out of our pockets, but some big things like our HVAC system, which would have taken $10,000 out of our checking account or our savings account to pay for, we went ahead and financed that. So big deal, we financed the HVAC. Big deal, we're gonna have a little bit of things to pay for when this house is done. But a big thing is we're not paying $200,000 to build this house, and we're gonna have all the features in it that we would have for our dream home, but we're not gonna be $200,000 in debt. Everything that we're having to finance for this house is going to be paid off in 5 years. And that's because we looked at how much we make, and we make roughly, it's a little more than this, but I'll say, I'm going to tell you guys, we make roughly $3,000 a month. Okay, let's just say $3,000 a month. We took that $3,000, we split it down, and we're paying all of our bills. We're getting all the things that we desire, and we're working within that $3,000 because we're not trying to live like anybody else. We're living like us. We're taking our money and doing the things that we desire to do with it without saying to ourselves, well, we can't be in debt. We can't have any debt. We got so caught up, especially me, got so caught up in not wanting to have any debt that we were happy and stuff, but life happens, y'all. And if you need to go finance a car to keep from walking, go finance you a car. Live within your means. I'm not telling you to go finance a Mercedes when you can afford a Hyundai. Go get you a Hyundai and don't worry about it. If you need a very dependable car and you don't have $4,000 to pay for a cash car, go get you a Hyundai. And that's the budgeting concept that we're living on now. We're not so built up on having to always do everything in cash, and it's really freeing. I've never been one that felt like you have to completely be out of debt to be financially free, but a part of me was kind of getting pulled into that whole financial world where these people tell you, oh, I paid off $500,000 worth of debt in a year. And you're like, how, girl? Let me do what you're doing. But when you do it, it doesn't work for you. So we're doing what works for us. Instead of going and get a $400,000 loan because we went to the bank and they told us that we could be financed for $400,000 to build a house and buy land. And for a split second, I really wanted to do that. Not $400,000, but at least $300,000. It would have been like $250,000 for the house itself, and it would have been another $30,000 for the land where I wanted to build that house. So that's $250,000, $300,000, like $310,000, something like that, to build a house that we thought we wanted to build in the area that we thought we wanted to be in. And honestly, if that's within your means to do that. If you can do it comfortably, that's the thing now. If you can do it comfortably, do it. That's how I feel. If I can do something and not be worried about how I'm going to pay for it, I'll do it. If I can, go out and get this, I'll do it. But it doesn't mean that I'm just taking all of our extra money and blowing it, because we're not doing that either, okay? We're not doing that either. We're not blowing all our extra money. We're still being very sensible about where our money goes, how we spend our money, having money in the savings account, making sure that we're building up all the things, making sure that we have all the things, but we're also not limiting ourselves into thinking that we have to be debt-free to live. Because legit, I don't believe that. I do not believe that you have to be debt-free to be financially free. They are two totally different things, and they should not be placed into the same category where someone is telling you, in order to be happy, to travel, to live life, that you can't have any debt other than your mortgage. That's crazy to me. And I don't feel like I need to beat you down if you do have a car payment, if you do have a few credit card bills, if you do have a mortgage, if you live in your dream house and you're happy in your dream house. I shouldn't tell you that you need to sell your dream house and downsize into a home that you're not going to be happy in. I can't. You only get one life. I don't think that you should be in a lot of debt where you can't live, but I don't think that you should limit yourself into a 2-bedroom, half-bath house where you and your 4 kids are living all on top of each other just so you can say that you don't have a mortgage. I don't think that you should have to drive around in a hoopty when you really want a nice Honda, just so you can tell Dave Ramsey that you don't have any debt. I don't think that. I don't think that you should not take a vacation for 3, 4, 5, 6 years just so you can put all of your money back into paying all of your bills when you're still gonna have bills at some way, shape, form, or fashion. You're gonna look back and your children are gonna be grown and you would have not taken them on any great family vacations. You don't have any memories, but you ain't got no debt. How does that make sense? So that's where we are in our budget. If you guys want to follow along with us, that's great, but I was kind of trying to avoid doing this video because I know there are so many budget Nazis out there. They're like, oh, well, you shouldn't have any debt. You have to be out of debt in order to be financially free. No, you don't. I got debt and I'm financially free. I have debt and I can still go out to eat without worrying about going out to eat. I have debt and I can still take a decent vacation. I'm not going to be going to Paris or anything like that because that's kind of crazy, because that's kind of keeping up with the Joneses. I'm living in my lane. Living in my lane. And that's where our budgeting concept is right now. We just live in our lane. We still do the cash systems. I still have my cash wallet. I still sell them if you're interested. I am still living in my financial lane, and I'm going with where my life takes me. And I'm not going to be so tied down into thinking that I have to be here, or I have to be doing this, or I have to be doing that, because I'm the worm. I'm not the early bird. I function better at 12 o'clock at night. I can sit down and get all of my work done and be very creative at night. I'm not a morning person. It is what it is. But if you are one of those people and you're the early bird and you can figure out a way where you can snowball all of your debts, put all of your extra money into debt and savings and still be happy, I'm not knocking you. I am not knocking that. But I really just don't want to be knocked as well, because that's not what I'm doing. That's not where my mindset is right now. I'm not snowballing any debts. I'm trying to have vacations. I'm trying to live in a nice house. I'm trying to drive my dream car. About to get it. And I'm not going to be able to pay cash for it, and I'm okay with that. And my husband's okay with that. And we're just going to live. We're going to pay for what we can pay for, and what we can't pay for, we're probably going to go ask somebody at the bank for it. It is what it is. So if you guys want to keep seeing financial videos or budgeting videos from me, and it's going to be on the real. It's going to be on the real. It's going to be how I budget, how we live, how we are able to pay all our bills and travel to the places that we want to travel to and are satisfied with, and live the life that we are satisfied with. Y'all are welcome to come along with us, but y'all tell me down below if y'all want to keep seeing these videos or if you don't want to keep seeing them, because this is just where we are in our lives. We are trying to live life to the fullest, and as my dad says, occupy until he comes. That's what we're gonna do. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for thumbsing up. This is my hair tie. I have to have it. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Please leave any comments down below, and I'll see y'all in the next one, I hope. Bye guys.